Please. Hey. Hey, now the audio's working. No rules!
Daddy's gone.
Daddy-
no rules. We can do whatever we
Daddy's
want.
gone.
We can dab every minute of this stream. Why? Can we turn this one off?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. The lighting was good before you stepped in there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you.
All right, let's
Perfect. Now I'm in
get.
total darkness.
All right, which one is it? Which one of these is the scoop? Hold on.
just give him just a whole. Can we go? Just start hitting the buttons. Just make sure everything turns on and off at least once.
Yeah, where's the one that's targeted for your face? All right, hang on. I'm gonna point that one to your face. Hang on.
Okay. Yeah. Incredible. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to On the Anvil. As I'm sure most of you probably figured out, Nate wasn't feeling too good tonight, so we sent him home roughly 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, and then we had a very exciting. We're a little behind on setup because the fire alarm went off twice today. One of those times being like
literally 5 minutes before we were about to go live.
Yep. So that really messed with our stuff. So we're currently doing all this stuff. So Nate is sick. So he's out. So we're kind of pivoting the plans for today. And instead, what we're going to be doing is Tyler and I are going to be leading you through this.
Yeah.
Without further ado, welcome to On the Anvil, the show with hotter questions and even hotter wings. Today, the main focus is going to be talking about the Game Found campaign that we've got coming up, as well as Tyler is our head of product development.
Big thumbs up.
Yeah, big thumbs up. Man, I missed you.
It's okay. I'll just... just to make it worse. Here's the thing, though. I like it going from like, I'm just simply here to... I have something to tell you.
Every time you have something to say.
I can find my light.
Yeah,
I know where it is.
We figured we could do a lot of... You know what? Do we even need these lights?
I like it. Leave it alone.
Okay,
We're good.
All right.
I want the opportunity to do weird noir bits. That's what I like about it. Is I get that opportunity.
So we thought it might be fun. Just kind of make this fairly like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What product development looks like, what it's like to try to put together a project like this.
Yeah.
First, we got some news. We're gonna talk about. You want to do the news thing?
Yeah. I don't know what the news is.
All right, go.
Is that how he does it?
That's spot on. So as far as news goes, hey, we had a restock today.
We did.
It went very well.
So well, in fact.
Yeah, it went very well today. It turns out people want Crystal Caverns.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know.
Yeah, you did.
We are placing another order for the standard Caverns, Walls, and Corners, that set that sold out in like an hour.
Yeah.
And more Unpainted will come with that because that sold out in like 40 minutes.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a good sign for us to keep pursuing that direction.
It's kind of nice. it almost dovetails as to like what the purpose of the Reforged project is in that way, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm just standing here. I can go anywhere you want. I'm gonna
move the camera to you. There's a good spot for you to stand, so I'll just move the camera to you.
So yeah, I just think that it's the Reforged is a very similar vein as to what's going on with the Crystal Caverns. Is that like we like to see stuff based on demand, and so this was a very clear like people really love this thing. They've been desperately wanting it for years anyway. So it's very clear that like this is an opportunity for us to, I don't know, just get more of that for you guys, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, we just want to make sure that we're making the right choices and getting the right stock of things. But when it's this popular, it's a lot easier for us to go, like, immediately, yes. It may be expensive, like Hellscape, but it's worth it because people want it.
The main thing is it takes like a big amount of capital up front to order something.
Yeah.
And so if we order something and it doesn't move like at all,
Yeah.
and then we're just sitting on that puts us in the hole pretty bad.
It gets us better information. Not to say like you guys always have to do that, but it gives us great information when you guys really do, I don't know, show us what you want.
Yeah, the basic thing we want to do is we want all of these sets that we've made to be something that is viable and something that makes sense to collect, and we want it all to be good. The issue is we have well over 1,000 pieces, and it's taking time to get through it all. We're trying to retroactively apply a sales strategy to like a decade of massive Kickstarters, because those plans were not made back when those Kickstarters were run, because there
just
no
wasn't
plan.
an established rule. It wasn't an established thing of like how can you make this tenable in the long run.
Yeah, back then it was about let's do this Kickstarter, move on to the next thing. This is how we're going to stay afloat, and there wasn't a lot of care put into like the long term sustainability of a lot of that product, and especially as the stuff got bigger and it's like now there's more and more pieces every project. We're having to like retroactively figure that plan out, which things have been going pretty well. We're getting into a lot of the more specialty pieces now. Like all the top sellers today are like cavern specialty pieces.
Yeah.
It was Misty Gateways, it was Crystal Caverns, it was
the entrance riser.
The LED walls were selling well. Like all this stuff that was not basic bread and butter.
Yeah.
All sold very well today, which is a good sign for like the Stairway to Violence coming later this year and more crystals coming later this year. So yeah, it's a good sign.
Agreed.
And in general, after Lowtown, we've been kind of moving into let's double down on getting the store stuff fixed, and Wildlands Reforged is like another step towards that. Like a solid 50% of doing Wildlands Reforged is let's all at once just make all of our wilderness stuff. Let's get it like store viable and sustainable, like in one go. And yeah, so that's the general. That is the strategy we're going for, and days like today are a good indication that we're doing the right thing.
Any other news?
We are going to Gen Con in, I guess, 2 weeks. Basically,
Yeah, 2 weeks.
It starts 3 Thursdays from now. 2 weeks from tomorrow is like the first actual day. We're leaving sooner than that because we got to set up a bunch of stuff. But yeah. We're going to be in the unair-conditioned expo hall 2 days before you guys.
Be jealous.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of manual labor in like high 90s degree Indiana weather with no air conditioning.
Best fleet ever. Can't wait
Yeah.
for that.
Cannot wait.
It's going to be good.
I'm excited for the food, honestly, more than anything. May's been
Screw the convention.
kind of. I don't really care about panels.
No, we
and stuff
don't.
like
We
that, so I don't
you
know.
and I have a lot of that history where like,
There
we've
are
gone to a
gonna be
lot of
people-
conventions.
If you're going to Merck, don't worry. When the convention's actually running, the air conditioning will be on.
Yeah.
Too much, honestly. It'll be cold during the convention.
Oh, perfect. I love that.
But convention halls never have their air conditioning on for setup or breakdown, and it sucks. It sucks. It's not just
It
Gen Con.
costs extra. But
Yeah.
do we have our booth number?
Yes, I believe it's 1301.
That's
I'm
what I
gonna-
thought.
I'm gonna
I almost
check-
thought it was 18, but I'm pretty sure you're right. It's 1301.
There's a 3 in there. Let me look real quick. Booth number
tilted kill.
1301. It is 1301. I'm a genius.
Why isn't it at a better time of year? I guess I would wonder what a better time of year is than the summer.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's the biggest tabletop convention in the country, so they're doing something right.
It's like inconvenient if you go on a lot of trips, I guess, but it seems like a good time of year to do it.
Yeah. Tremendous Tome's out. Yeah, that's right. Tremendous Tome is out, and it's also up for pre-order, I believe, or straight up purchase. I think they're actually shipping it. That
Cool.
Kickstarter has been fulfilling, and you can go get it. I did 2 builds for it. NPC Charles, if you're part of the community, you know NPC Charles. He did one. A lot of other people connected to us. Who else did it? I'm blanking. It's been a while. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. It's not all. It's not all builds with our stuff. There's a lot of other stuff in there as well. But there's a good amount of our terrain in there, and it's fun. It's a coffee table book of cool like D&D builds, which a lot of people ask us to do. Well, somebody else went and did it, so there you go.
Sure. Yeah, weather. I get it.
Let's see. Why'd you want to be in Indianapolis in August? I don't know. One of my cousins got married in Phoenix in August.
Yeah, but do you like them for that?
Not after that.
Yeah, then that's
what I'm saying.
That's probably why Hippo's saying what he's saying.
It's not an uncommon thing. Some people don't have feeling. It was an outdoor wedding. Which, like, why would she want that? Like,
also, it's Phoenix.
Her.
They exist in AC.
Yes.
So, like, why?
They probably got a really good deal on it. if I'm being honest,
They're not even from Phoenix.
They're probably like, wow, the outdoor options are way cheaper for some reason.
Yeah. Well, my friend Homer got married out by Multnomah Falls, and there's like a nice little place down there. But yeah, it was also like August when it happened, or like July, and so it was just like happened to be one of the hotter times of Oregon.
Yeah.
It was just like Jesus.
Other news. We've got a game found, which is really the main purpose. Maybe we just pivot from there into.
We can just talk about it there, but I mean, like,
Game
there's no other big things, right?
I don't think so. We did Restock. We did Gen Con.
Great.
Is there anything else that we've got going on that we can even talk about?
I mean, obviously, during the week of Gen Con, we won't have On the Anvil or Hamster Hobby Hang.
Well, Hamster might still go. He's not.
No, he's doing his family trip.
That's fair.
So.
Okay. I didn't know.
Don't pay attention, I guess.
I don't. Yeah, I don't stalk him. Yeah. All right. Game found. Oh, all the game found stretch goal freebies. So we're not doing freebies this time.
Correct.
How many of the game found sets are the same as Wildlands Kickstarter? We'll get into that.
Yeah, we can talk about that exactly right now. That's why we want to talk about game found and just kind of like the scope of the project. I can't tell you, not because I'm trying to keep it secret. I'm just saying, like, we're probably not going to talk a lot about like prices of the rewards, for instance, like the bundles. We're not going to necessarily talk a lot about like too much specifics, but like we can talk about a lot of it already.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Wildlands Reforged is our first time trying out GameFound. It is a rework. We're referring to it as like a rework of our Wildlands collection.
Yes.
With a couple of non-Wildlands like forest pieces and stuff in there.
Hence the Reforged sort of like moniker.
The idea is basically there's no new pieces. It's all going to be the same paint schemes, but it is reworking the collection into set configurations that make more sense for the web store and will make it easier for you guys to get stuff you want. It makes some pieces that were hard to get more available, and it breaks everything down into kind of use case packs.
It's a design philosophy that I've been working on for a while, since I started working here. Pretty much was like looking at how the pieces go and making the archives and getting all that knowledge base, and then eventually, while we were working through Wildlands, it was kind of like learning how the compositions were always worked. Once we got into Lowtown, a huge part of what made Lowtown the way it was because Nate and I kind of agreed on a design principle of like we want things to be multiplied easily. We want and that also already works really well and has to happen for Lowtown because you have floors that have to have a certain number of walls, that have to have a certain number of corner posts, that like it's much more the stakes are higher within Lowtown versus what you need for Wildlands. It's like you want a lot of floors or you want a lot of escarpments, but there's not a specific number that has to pair necessarily outside of you need to pair the ledges with the escarpments. There's not too much beyond that you have to worry about. So it really comes down to what Chris said. It was that we needed to reconfigure the escarpments especially. When we originally made those things, I think our methodology when we did the original Wildlands compositions was okay. But that was also a philosophy of, great, we're still just going to make giant mega sets. We're just going to make bespoke, big bundles, and that's how you're going to purchase it. And then when we entered Lowtown, the other thing that we wanted to change about our design philosophy was all bundles and mega sets should be made from the component packs. Mm-hmm. So that's the other thing that we've done within this Reforged project is there are reward levels that will mimic something that you would have seen close to like the Heart of series of bundles in those like larger price, it's around like 1,200 or something like that.
They're roughly the same size and price as the Heart of bundles were.
Yeah,
but there's more of a focus on them being made up of bread and butter specifically, with less like
things that you
pieces.
can really move around and shift into different kinds of builds, or pair it better with other things you already own. And so that's kind of the other thing about the component sets, how they got reconfigured. We've reconfigured forest floors. We've reconfigured all of the escarpments, and by consequence, we reconfigured the Trifecta Ledges companion packs. We've reconfigured one Swamp Bank pack. The Swamp Banks, interestingly enough, were already based on a use case scenario, they had a lot less work needing to be done to them.
They were the ones that were in the best place, but there was one pack where we were looking at it, it was just like, this is just way more expensive than it needs to be. Has a lot of stuff that it doesn't need. There's really like 2 pieces in here that are the real point of this pack.
Yeah.
And so we should just build around that. It got the price lower. It made it like, yeah. So you can get those.
Well, that's the other thing I get to control a little bit by when these things are the way they are. Like we kind of know the more exact pricing, and we can shift it a little bit better to make sure that, like, okay, if we're remaking this pack, it has to be for a very good purpose, and because it's going to adjust some of this pricing.
Yeah.
And so. That's just to verify, Masticon, your comment. Yes, they are very similar in design to component sets that you see in Lowtown, in the sense of it's meant to build out a lot of different things, and you can get them in different orders, and you'll benefit from that.
The main difference is just a difference in like the way that the systems work compared to like Lowtown, right? Like you're not looking at, okay, get like a floor pack and a wall pack and a roof pack. You're looking at So
most of these things like you'll get one thing, and that kind of satisfies a small building.
Really, like the thing with wilderness building is you're not making rooms, right? Like you're making more sprawling builds, and so we can't really do like a core set the way that we could with dungeon or cavern, where it's like, cool, this gives you like 3 rooms you can rearrange. It's about building an exterior instead of an interior, and so what it looks at is like, so the core pieces for the escarpment line are like 7 packs basically, like somewhere in that like ballpark. I can't remember the exact number, but 10. Like 10. And so
if you want to count the floors,
I don't count the floors. I'm talking mostly about the escarpments.
Then like 8.
Yeah, for the escarpments, like 8 packs. And so how do we make it so that you can more easily kind of customize the ratio of escarpments that you're getting? There was a lot of like weird combinations.
Well, for one,
that wound up in the initial escarpment line, because I think Nate was trying to make each pack feel cool on its own, and the reality was like,
price-wise, that just doesn't make sense.
Price-wise doesn't make sense. You're running with like a lot of concaves that like you didn't really want. Like there was a lot of like very odd combinations. So we've broken it down into, here's a basic and an advanced, and that contains all the smaller escarpments in it basically in easy to multiply packs, and then the large ones, it's like they're just 2 packs of the large escarpments, because those things are expensive. And this way, like if you just want more straights, you can get just straights in whatever amount you want. You can get just convexes in whatever amount you want. That sort of thing.
There was a question earlier, if you wouldn't mind scrolling up just a little bit.
Yes. No new sculpts in this.
No new sculpts. Sorry.
And we're not making any new molds. So another important thing for this project, actually, we're doing this to slot it into the factory's like. It's like, cool, we've got a window where they can be producing pieces while they're making the molds for Lowtown, but they can't be making new molds because they're making the Lowtown molds.
Yeah.
So we're not making any new molds for this. There's no new pieces because otherwise we would then have
Despite
to
the
wait.
fact that we also don't want to make any new pieces
Because if we
or
did
molds.
make anything with new molds, we would have to wait until after Lowtown for the factory to be able to make it.
Yes.
So this is like trying to make the most out of what the factory schedule is looking like.
Not to mention, it helps us subsidize that order. That's a huge part of this too. Is the opportunity to say, we don't usually get to do this in our restocks, where we say, well, we're pretty sure people want these things, like the Crystal Caverns, for instance. We have a pretty good bead on the fact that like people love Crystal Caverns, but when we have to make a specific minimum order and we're not really certain how many people are going to be there to show up, it makes it a little bit harder. This way, one of the coolest parts about this project is we get to make the order based on what you guys actually put into your the pledge, because on GameFound, we get to put all of the add-ons. Every component set gets to exist on the GameFound system. You can put them in your pledge from day one. You don't have to. I just mean to say that gives us basically accurate numbers from the beginning of the actual manufacturing process. And it also gives us that really cool, easy way of saying, you're getting exactly what you want in the exact quantities you want, guaranteed kind of a thing. So that's kind of the thing I also really appreciate about it and like about it. Yeah. There was just real quick. Can you scroll up just a little bit on the comments? A little bit more. Because it was okay. So that was that. It was below that. It was the district thing. I was wondering if it would be something similar to the district landmark setup. It's not dissimilar, but because Wilderness builds differently, you're not going to see an exact replica of that. When it came to landmarks versus districts, the landmarks got to be like a unified building, right, where it had a couple of like character bits to it, and then the districts get to be like this whole big thing. With these bundles, the mid-range bundles are going to be a little bit more like a lot of the scatter and dressing that you would add to your table, and it's in good chunks where you'll get to have the modular trees, or you'll get to have all of these new scatter compositions that we've made into one bundle where you can just go ahead and put it on your table. Whereas the larger bundles are closer to like a heart of, which would be closer to a smaller district, right? Like making a actual scene, having enough things there. So yeah, that's what I would say, because the whole purpose of this too is that like within the component sets, you're also going to be able to have a really rich way of mixing and matching everything you actually want. And it can be very easy to make your own bundles. You're not going to be limited to these reward tiers to make what you want, because again, all of the add-ons will be available from the very beginning. So you can make your own bespoke list, and while you're not getting a bundle discount, you are still getting everything exactly the way you want it to, just like you would from the web store.
Yeah. So the main difference with like pledging is the way that you put together your pledge in GameFound as opposed to Kickstarter is with Kickstarter you would just like select a pledge level, and then you could type in like an amount to add more to your pledge. So for when you were wanting to put together your own pledge before, you would have like, it involved just like having people like go to an external site and look through all this stuff and use a shipping calculator and like all this stuff to basically browse. Like we like for Lowtown, we set up like a whole fake store basically for people to go and browse through it all and figure out like what they actually wanted to pledge. For GameFound, you can literally just go through like all those sets will just be on the GameFound page like they would be in our store.
Yeah.
And you just make your pledge amount by saying like, yeah, I want one of these, I want two of these, I want three of these.
And you can also still do that with the rewards as well. If you like the forest build and you just want two of them, and like to answer your question, Master Kana, like is there any mega packs like the full builds at $2,500 each? It's like we have an all in, more just saying that it's wrapping up the three big bundles that we have into one. But other than that, like you can choose the same one multiple times. You can do that and add additional component packs to specific amounts that you would like. So that's an advantage we have here within this system versus what we had in Kickstarter, where it was like, figure out your dollar amount, put it in there, and then you have to do extra work later in the pledge manager. It's like, no, you can kind of do it from the very beginning.
You'll be figuring out a lot of your pledge manager stuff during the campaign, basically.
Yeah. The one note that we have to say is that there is still a shipping calculator because GameFound currently doesn't have a system that can do that easily for like duties and taxes. So there will be a separate shipping calculator that will be very easy to utilize because it's like the ones we've always used. So unfortunately, you'll still have that if that really is going to affect part of your pledging, but it is made with GameFound in mind.
So the basic structure of this is going to be, you're going to be able to get all the add-ons, like all the component sets, like you would normally be able to in the store, like things that are generally priced around 50 to 100 per set in general.
Yeah.
And then we are going to have we are making a couple of mega pack style bundles, basically, that are like, here's all the modular tree stuff. So like, here's one of each stump lump pack and
every one of the tree toppers.
Every one of the tree toppers. And it's just taking those sets and it's putting them together and then giving you a bit of a discount on it, basically. Yeah. And so we're going to have a couple of things like that where we think people will find them useful.
Yeah.
And then the top layer is going to be those like around 1,200 hero bundles, one for each biome, like one for swamp, one for mountain, one for forest.
Again, consider it.
And they'll have like a pretty big discount on them. And the goal with those, philosophy-wise, is if you don't have anything in this biome and you want to get all like the bread and butter and just be able to like do a bunch of stuff like in that biome, this is supposed to be a very good starting point. So you can grab that bundle and then you can get whatever add-ons you want to like customize it on top of that. And then we will have putting all three of those together along with a trifecta ledge like companion.
We've
pack
made a
for
companion bundle too anyway, so like it does work.
We made one of those mega pack bundles is a trifecta ledge companion bundle for the mountain set, where it's literally just like, this is all the ledges you would need if you wanted to get that mountain like hero pledge and then like build it in line with floors. And so there will be like our all-in isn't actually an all-in in terms of like, here's every sculpt. It is, here are the 3 hero pledges combined with that ledge pack.
Yeah.
So you literally have like, it fills out like a 4x4 table and is literally like, here is just all the bread and butter you could want for all 3 biomes with like the biggest discount we can offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably like, and when we say it doesn't have every pack, it's like, it doesn't have the small mountain floors. Yeah. You know, like that.
But those are going to be available as add-ons, so if you want them, it's easy.
If you want them, it's easy enough. But it was trying to put the discount in another thing that I want to address when you talked about the ledge pack. Part of the reason we did that and tried not to include it in the mountain bundle is to try to learn from things that happen in Lowtown with like the roofs, for instance. And it's actually easier to do that within the GameFound system than it was within Kickstarter. So that's kind of one of the reasons we've done it that way, was like, how can we optimize people's choices while also benefiting ourselves in terms of what we need to order? Yet again, kind of like talking about why we don't do why we're not going to do mega packs anymore as much as possible. Is in that same vein. The more that we can bundle items together and give a discount to that bundle, that's kind of better, personally better for the customer side, but it's also better for us because it keeps our order minimums up. Like it keeps, or sorry, not so much our order minimums, but it keeps our actual active order of an item up. And we're not like doing 3 extra things because we needed to do this like special mega pack thing.
And we're trying not to tie you into specialty pieces that you might not want that then like negate an entire. Well, we're not including like the terrain trays or the mats or the battle boards or the texture mats in there, because maybe you've already got those mats, or maybe you want to get it with a different mat or different terrain trays. Mm-hmm. So we will show like pictures with them and be like, this is recommended. This is like the recommended like setup or whatever, but they aren't included because we don't want people to say like, well, I feel like my discount is basically being wiped out by getting 4 trays that I don't want, or something like that.
We've really done everything we possibly can to make sure any part of the discount goes directly to the sculpts more than the extra materials.
Yeah.
I think everybody loves those things, and they're great, and they're honestly necessary for like swamp building. Really, like you do kind of really want one of those things, but in the interest of making sure that people have good purchases, that's why we did what we did. There was a question earlier that was asking, oh shoot, is it essentially a pre-order? And it's like, yeah. I mean, effectively, it does have that same kind of energy. It's not exactly the same because we're like reconfiguring and helping subsidize those reconfigurations. And additionally, somebody else asked about like some metal mold stuff. It's like, yeah, that's the other reason that we reconfigured these things was so that they could prioritize the mold, like how we've actually made those molds and trying to make sure that they're optimized in that way.
Let's see. We're going to be offering the mats both gridded and ungridded.
Yes.
Let's see.
The terrain trays are not gridded and the battle boards are not gridded.
Random question. Will you bring back Build of the Month bundles? We have been making bundles. They're just not Build of the Month anymore. The problem with Build of the Month is it sucked to go through all the work for that and then have the thing go away after like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we have still been making those bundles. We actually just launched one today. And we're planning to, as things slow down, like after this GameFound launches, honestly, because we've been making videos for that, we want to start making videos to accompany a lot of those bundles we've done.
What are the odds of seeing the cave mouth sculpt?
Is that in stock? If not, we could put it on the stretch goal list.
We'll have to review.
Yeah.
Because part of it was, I think you're bringing up a perfect sculpt to like talk about.
It's in stock.
But any item that was currently in stock on the store, we did not include in this.
Yeah, so there are some things like Titan's Tooth isn't in the campaign and the Arcane Runes aren't in the campaign, but it's because they're
coming in
stock
October.
on the store.
And wait, no, they just came in. I thought Titan's Tooth was coming in later.
Oh, they're coming in October. Yeah,
right.
Either because there's over 200 of the cave mouth in the store. So yeah, so we won't put that in because like that's already there.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is because we're trying to keep the size of this campaign manageable, but between the stuff that's already coming in restocks and the stuff that's already in stock in the store, and now this GameFound campaign, we're getting back basically every piece from Wildlands.
The entire line
is going to be available. There's like a couple small things where it's like the grasping hands aren't in. There's like a couple small things.
Well, it's because the grasping hands were in a couple spots.
I guess they're in stock if you get Venkura. So yeah, never mind.
Or if you got the Dismal Bog, they were there, I believe. There was one other thing that they were with, but I think the point that we didn't. Regardless, there's like one or two off pieces where like we're kind of looking into it and seeing like, what's the most important thing that we want to get.
But when you factor in stretch goals, so if the campaign funds better than we hoped, well, not like we're hoping for it to underfund, but if the campaign like does well, then it's like cool. We'll hit points where we can make this restock order larger, and we can add things like the Oblivion Nexus or the Standing Stones, stuff like that. And those
showpiece items, things that
showpieces, things that we didn't consider to be as essential bread and butter for like getting this thing going, like stuff that we like need in the store. But if we're able to get like the funding to be able to like offset that, we can add that, and then it'll also like we can then put it straight into the add-ons, so you can then like add that Oblivion Nexus to your pledge like right then and there. Yeah. As soon as it unlocks, basically.
So that's the trick with the stretch goals within this campaign. Again, this is not a new campaign in terms of new product. This is effectively a restock pre-order. And so because of that, what the stretch goals allow us to do is exactly that. Open up new packs, and we can say, great, we're going to manufacture this. And so it will be available right now in whatever quantities you want, and then we will have a surplus that goes to the store later. But we just can't guarantee that those are going to stick around.
So if there are any other questions about how that works, let me know. How will this campaign play into minimum order size on some pieces? If ISCO only has half number, will it still be made even missing? Yeah, so we are going to make everything that is in this campaign no matter what. The stuff that we... Like, the stuff that we are launching with, like, we are going to make it... Even if only, like, 50 of a certain pack, like, gets ordered during the campaign or whatever, yeah, we're not going to say, like, we're actually not making that.
We wouldn't anything that we are advertising as being is going to come to the store.
The only ones we maybe wouldn't make would be like stretch goals that we didn't hit.
Yes,
basically.
Exactly. No, I mean, I'm full stop. Any stretch goal we do not hit, we will not be providing.
Yeah. Yes. If you have any other questions, is the per piece price going to increase relative to what is currently in the store? I imagine probably. So that's another part of this too.
I can speak to this.
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like so the case is that anything that is not reconfigured that we are offering as part of this pre-order restock will maintain its current store pricing within the project. Once those items come to the web store, they will see an increase in price, just due to our rising prices of production. So, for instance, the Forest Floors Open Glade pack is currently at like $90, I think. And it's that thing where it's like, right, it'll be $90 in this project, so we can guarantee you that price right now. Once that product actually comes back and goes into the store, whatever surplus we have of that item goes into the store, it will see an increase in price. I can't tell you what that increase is going to be exactly.
Because it depends on what the factory.
Says, there's a bit of. It's also partially why like helping subsidize the order means that we can probably like reduce the amount we have to inflate the pack. Mm-hmm. But it just means that those will see some increase. Anything that was reconfigured, like the escarpment packs, the trifecta ledge packs, and a few other things that were just like reconfigured or new sets entirely, those will have current pricing in terms of like, we don't have a store price. I can't price the straight escarpment pack the same because the composition's completely changed. Mm-hmm. So it's like they will have difference of prices, but like those will then not increase when they go to the store. I hope I'm making that clear. Anything that's reconfigured and new, that's going to be the store price once it actually hits the store. But anything that was previously in the store that we are restocking will then see an increase in price.
We're also going to have a label.
Yes, everything has a tag and a label.
Yeah, there's also going to be, we're going to have a label that differentiates the new sets from the sets that aren't changing or reconfigured. So you'll be able to tell. Yeah. Let's see.
So we had the original KS price and the increased shop price, correct, which was marginal. And then now we will maintain the shop price for the GameFound campaign and a further increase when the restock hits the shop. Exactly.
Yeah, basically
only on the previous items.
Let's see.
Since the Kickstarter is supposed to be subsidizing the project, why the increase afterwards? Because we want to satisfy the current pricing that we've already told you, and it's a way to give you an additional discount on all the component sets. Like by keeping the prices where they are, they haven't changed in 2 years. So this is also a part of our Reforged campaigns, is to help us start to more readily, I guess what I'm trying to say is like more readily keep pace with like the marginal increases that we sometimes have to do to our line of product. Mm. And so I'm just trying to phrase this question. I'm trying to phrase my answer correctly. Is this just that like we want to guarantee you this current price that you have already seen on the web store, and that gives you that discount right now. And then once it actually comes to and it's also helping us get that order right now.
Yeah, basically the thing was like when talking about it, it was like, okay, well, you know, a lot of these things we haven't reordered since the Kickstarter, and also sometimes, you know, the factory will like do something for us for the Kickstarter because of the order numbers or something, but we can't maintain the same deal when we get down to then like restock order numbers.
Yeah.
And so, you know, in the discussions with it, it was some of these prices like are going to have to increase, and we were like, okay, well, can we keep them the same for this GameFound project at least, basically?
And it was like universally agreed upon. It was like, yeah, we should keep them the same, so that way it's basically just helping people get what they want while we can. And
it being kind of like a twofold thing. One of them being because we won't actually know exactly what the increase has to be for all of them, although we know it will be like small. It's not going to be like a huge...
it's not like $20 or something like that. It's like
it will be a small increase
within $3 to $5.
But we won't know. Yeah, it'll be like a couple of dollars per pack.
Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt.
But but we won't know like the exact amount until we actually get the order into the factory and they give us that whole thing. And the other thing being like it's nice to provide like another incentive and just kind of like a thank you for pre-ordering it instead of waiting for the store.
Because it's effectively a discount, and then when you get the bundled items as well, you're getting an additional discount on top of that.
There will be terrain trays, yes.
There will be terrain trays, but not new ones.
Yeah. We're not making anything
new.
The only new things really are some reconfigurations of the existing pieces and then like new bundles that are just made up of those pieces. Yeah.
I'm comfortable listing them. We'll have the Raging River straight and the Raging River curve 12-inch terrain trays, which will also come with the overlays. And then we'll also have the Mountain Ground and Packed Earth. The Mountain Ground Packed Earth terrain tray. Because that was a good one to pair with the mountain bundle. We kind of already still have some mountain and the Mountain Ground Packed Earth trays, I believe, in the store. But it was just, again, it was like, this is an easy thing for us. We always need terrain trays. Let's include it in the order. Same thing with the texture mats. We are doing the Swamp Water gridded and gridless texture mats. So those are 24-inch by 24-inch. And so those are another thing that are easy enough for us to keep in stock and need more of kind of consistently.
And you kind of need them for the swamps. So
you kind of need them, yeah. And it was neat. And then the battle boards, we're doing both. But we're only doing the gridless versions of them. But we're doing the Forest Patchy Ground and the Aranthor Mountain Ground for the battle boards.
Yeah. So, let's see. I think, and so another thing too, actually, a lot of this stuff is going to start getting published on the page over the coming days. I'm going to be working on that a lot, and like basically by the end of the week, we want to put up some more info. We're seeing exactly how much of it we can put up as a preview. So we're looking at that now, and we want to make a lot of this stuff visible before the campaign launches.
No 6x6 or 4x8 terrain trays. Just 12x12s.
Not in this one, no.
There was a Thanksgiving question.
Yeah, if by Thanksgiving you mean sci-fi.
Can I see it?
Mean sci-fi reveal.
Can I see?
Oh, I was scrolling up on the wrong screen. Is Thanksgiving still planned around end of year or no street date yet? Did we have a Thanksgiving? Oh.
What's Thanksgiving?
Making all the new.
Those.
In
Got it. Those have been sent off to the factory.
I think they're coming in. They're coming in the October. I think we don't have listings for them yet because they're new.
I don't think they're coming in the October one. Let's
right,
not
we
confirm.
don't. Yeah, right. We don't. Know, that's right. This is the order after that. We actually don't have the timeline.
That's what
I'm
saying. We don't have a timeline on it, so we it's not we don't want to. It's we just don't have one just yet.
Yeah.
Again, because they are currently in Lowtown production, and we're also trying to set up this reforged order. It most likely will get done slightly before they start work on reforged, but it's a little unknown.
Timeline on the project. It's going to be running the 10th through the 25th?
Yes.
10th
August 10th through August 25th, the project will be live. It will then go, GameFound requires us to take at least 14 days, I believe, 14 or 15.
In between the campaign and Pledge Manager, because they need all the payments to go through and process and stuff.
Yeah. So the Pledge Manager then, in our eyes, we want it also, we shouldn't have to add anything to the Pledge Manager. That's kind of one of the other advantages to this GameFound system is that our bulk of our work is done up front now. And we don't have to have this additional step where you have to now look at 16 new sets that unlocked for the first time that you're seeing. So because of that, I'm expecting the Pledge Manager process to be pretty short. We probably won't need more than 15 days to have it ready. So additionally, because you can put all your add-ons into your original order, Pledge Manager might even end up being easier.
Yeah, and we're not doing like stretch goal treasure chest stuff that you got to figure out.
No.
So it should be a very simple process because we really want to try to get the order in like by the end of September so that the factory has it in time to be able to get this stuff to you guys. We really want it to get delivered. We want them to be able to finish all their stuff before Chinese New Year is like the main thing. Because if we hit Chinese New Year, then it's like a month where they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So we're trying to
take it a vacation.
So we want to so we want to. We're trying to get everything like wrapped up by the end of September so that we can get the order in time to get you your stuff as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
basically.
and then in terms of production timeline, that takes anywhere from we again, depending on how quickly they get that done, as well as their Lowtown production. I saw somebody ask earlier, does that mean they're going to arrive at the same time? It's like, no.
This should be landing first.
It would land first because there's much less time necessary to fabricate and paint and all that stuff. But it does mean if they get done before Chinese New Year, it means we might actually see it on the water and then, be able to ship out by like March.
Yeah.
But that is a like best case scenario on everything. Our current projections are more closely aligned with like April. We're confirmed, like this next week, Jay and I are sitting down and like verifying what we think the real like length of time is appropriate to advertise. Currently, I believe the project page says like March or April 2024, which is what we're still pretty sure is going to be true. But we just want to make another assessment on it and say, okay, this is our strong projection. And one of the other moves that we're trying to do with these smaller projects, and especially Reforged, is to be better about our timelines in general, and just making sure that you guys get the appropriate understanding of, we've baked in 2 extra months for, trying to account for how these things, might travel on the water or whatever. So yeah, that's my brief statement on that. Is just that's kind of what we're looking for in the timeline. But somebody else asked again, but it's the August 10th through August 25th is the actual project itself.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Beans would be after Reforged. We've talked about it a bit. I was wondering if we could do it during. I think it's going to have to be after.
It's also that like the beans that we would have are still currently like, I don't think we can show them yet.
Well, because I think we've also talked about it. I think we really want to make kind of an event out of the Sci-Fi reveal.
Yeah.
And like really have like the full thing together because it's
yeah.
coming along very cool. And so I think we're going to make a special thing out of it.
It's given that timeline of what it's going to take to get to there, it's more likely already after Game Found anyway.
Yeah.
So, most likely.
Let's see.
Does that include Colt being made before Chinese New Year? No. Colt is currently, I think we have an update going out soon, but, like every project happens, we've been having some new ways that we've been interacting with our process and how our factory wants us to satisfy our sculpts. And it's just taken a little bit longer. So right now, the projection is probably May, given the fact that Chinese New Year is where it is. And then this order is not going to be messing this up. Let's yet again make that very clear. This order will be happening at the same time that they're fulfilling Lowtown. It's just that's why we want to get it in as early as possible, because then it disrupts it even less. How is mold making going? I suppose I should say that. Yeah, it's still going well. It's just that because we're learning some new processes, because we're having different conversations, it is kind of like, it's at some stages slow going, and then all of a sudden it'll just like skyrocket into like a lot of fluid movement, and it's just like, Jesus, I just need like I need more stability sometimes, but it's going well, and we are well underway.
There's been no like major issues where we're like,
no.
Yeah.
In fact, less issues. It's just new processes that we have to learn.
It's just it's taking them a little bit longer to like make this thing than they expected. Yeah. But there hasn't been any like, oh, this thing that you asked us to do is actually unviable. There's been none of that, which is nice, because that has happened before.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, as Ed, it's more like it said March 2024. I'm guessing that's pushed back a bit. It's like, yeah, I would more reliably say like May, but everything is still kind of fluid. But like I'm just trying to, I suppose what I would say is expectations. Right, just to kind of continue to continuously communicate expectations and how we are delivering on stuff, and that's not saying anything more than I think Let me rewind that sentence. I'm just trying to say that like there's a bit of that is I'm in communication with people who are on a completely different time zone. And so some of that stuff is they'll have nothing and then they'll have 15 things to show. So for a period of 4 days, I'm like, God, where are we? But then sometimes they'll just be like, we were working on all of this stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you worked on all this stuff, actually. This is great. I get to check off a bunch of things all at once. And so they're always constantly moving. It's just sometimes the communication can throw me for a loop.
Tyler would want to be Han. Like that's not even like a question.
I would want to be, but if they're saying that you have the roguish
you're
charm,
definitely actually more of a Han, I think.
It's true. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I wonder who could pull off Chewbacca. Fucking Miles. You kidding me? He doesn't have to speak. He doesn't have to. He just gets to sit there and work on the ship the whole time.
Well,
it's Miles' dream job. Everybody loves him. He gets a cool thing.
Pull out a Four Loko? No, it's worse.
No, it's worse. It's way worse.
It's Guru. It's the thing that we're drinking now because Runa died.
Yeah. That's good to hear. No major changes to sculpts is good to hear.
Chewie said a lot. No one understood him. Man, one of my favorite things in the Thrawn trilogy.
Han understood him, don't you?
One of my favorite things in the Thrawn trilogy is when they go to his home planet, and then a Wookiee walks up to them and starts speaking to them in common, and they're like, "Oh,
wait a minute!"
And he's like, "What? Has Chewie had a speech impediment this entire time?" And they're like, "No, actually, the one that can talk to you is the one with the speech impediment, and everybody makes fun of him for it." Like that's,
dude. You know that they're doing Thrawn in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
In the new Ahsoka show, they're basically doing a Thrawn.
Ahsoka wasn't in the Thrawn trilogy.
Well, Thrawn was in Rebels.
Is Mara Jade there?
No.
Then I don't care.
God, you're the worst.
Man, Mara Jade was like one of my first crushes.
I know.
Let's be honest.
I know.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's
move on. Oh, hey, we need a giveaway word. It's 8:00.
Oh, let's just Thrawn. Thrawn is the giveaway word. T-H-R-A-W-N.
If you want a chance to win a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card, just type in Thrawn in chat. Thrawn.
Thank you.
Not Mara Jade.
Thank you.
Not Mara Jade, unfortunately. Thrawn this time. Expect some cosplay Star Wars come sci-fi launch. We got some ideas for the sci-fi video, man.
Yeah, but I'm also 1,000% in, and I will.
I'm very excited for us to get to sci-fi because we get to then play with a lot of aesthetics and stuff that we don't get to. Getting to go outside of fantasy for a bit and just like lean into a bunch of other stuff because we've got a lot of sci-fi nerds here. Like we're not just fantasy. Like we don't just like fantasy here. Guy's got an Encino Man shirt on.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you talking about? That's sci-fi, right?
He's from the Stone Age, but it's the Rock Age.
Man.
This is a great movie.
Yeah. I want to talk about a couple other things regarding the GameFound page outside of the offer.
Yeah.
Mostly some of the new features we've been playing around with.
Yeah.
The first thing is, hey, if you aren't following the GameFound page, we're doing a follower gift where if you follow the page before we launch, it gives like a $5 discount.
Yes.
That just goes off of your pledge, which is nice.
Yeah.
So that's we're looking at that, but currently we got that
experimenting with it, trying to see like, hey, we want to do more with it. We want to figure it out, but this is also our first project on GameFound. Yeah. So we're using some caution when we're doing some of these things.
We're experimenting with a lot of these things. One of the other things that we're trying out is Stretch Pay. Is a thing they've got, which is basically a way to pay for your pledge in installments. And there's no extra fees or interest or anything. which some people have said would be helpful for them. So we're gonna try it out and see how that goes.
It's $5 US probably, but like I don't know specifics on
It
how
is
that,
$5 US. We have
$5
our,
US.
Yeah, we have everything on
Great.
our project. We have running under. They have a really nice toggle for whether your project is doing
That's cool.
euros or US dollars.
Can any gift cards be used with GameFound the same way you guys did it with Kickstarter?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, got to look into that. I don't know if we
it'd
have
be
a
a pretty
confirmation.
easy thing. We don't have a confirmation, but I can't imagine we would.
But that's why I'm saying we don't have
we
confirmation,
don't have confirmation,
on
but
that.
I'm like 99% sure. I don't know why we would.
It's a thing that we got to
Yeah.
bring up. Is what
Yeah.
I'm trying to dictate. Is that it's like, let's ask that question for you, and we can even put that on our FAQ.
Yeah.
So
How fiscally responsible is taking out a loan for luxury terrain? Please don't.
don't
Don't.
ever
Please don't.
hurt
don't
America.
Please
by
don't.
not doing loans.
Please don't do anything that would put you in any sort of financial risk for terrain.
Please do not think that the capitalist nightmare that we currently live in is where. Oh, you don't want that? You're gonna put me on mute?
Oh wow, look at that. Oh, I could actually. That'd be fun. Just put
Good.
Oh, that's muted. Hang on. You didn't get to hear that because it was muted.
Yeah.
Just gonna play you
Well,
out.
that's right. It's not the whole thing either. Yeah.
New stuff of it's DeLorean DMC-12 lightsabers and Federation uniforms from Sonic Studio. Man, there's actually worse.
Offend everyone.
We could just just go the route of like screwing up every property just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's more fun to do. I don't want to say what any of our ideas are because I want to just I want to just get the full.
We're
wanna just
deep
get
in
the
the
full
throes
response.
of like wanting to just already be able to do it.
Yeah, we've been very excited about it. We've been making
Yeah.
plans.
Isn't that actually what the pay over time really is? Is essentially a loan, I guess.
Yeah. Well, kind of, but there's no interest or anything attached. So I don't know. We're gonna
there's no
see
interest.
it.
So
Let's see.
you were saying that you wanted to talk a little bit more about. some of the
Yes,
page.
stretch pay is one of the things. What other features are there that would be interesting? I know
Well,
there's other.
I really appreciate. So here's something while we've been like in the back end of GameFound
Oh, yeah.
that I've even really appreciated about being able to run our project is the opportunity to within each component set we can embed video or even embed embed a video or a video link. Images, we can put as many images as we want to within the actual where you can actually put it into your cart.
Each bundle and like add-on set gets to have a full product listing, and so
Yeah.
so we can have like what we have on our web store. Like we can have a gallery of images so we can include like whatever images you need for that.
Yeah.
And we can embed like whatever hands-on video talks about like that stuff for
Exactly.
the ledges. We can have the ledges video there.
Gosh, the fact that we get to put as like part of the mountain bundle, we say this is the quantity and each individual set that is in it, and then if you click that set, you get brought to that component.
It's literally the stuff that Letitia had to make
Yeah.
a fake website for so we could do it in Lowtown. And it's on the campaign page.
It's
this
on the
time.
campaign page. You don't
Which
even have to
is- which is
leave.
nice.
All the descriptions are there.
Yeah,
all
the only
piece
thing-
photos are there.
The only thing you're gonna have to leave the
Is just the shipping calculator.
is just for the shipping calculator. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to figure out your shipping, we are still making a shipping calculator. But the cool thing with that is, we talked to GameFound about that, and their team is working on making a shipping calculator that can just be integrated with the platform. They can't turn it around in time for this project, but like
Yeah.
in the future, like they're basically looking at that and like, okay, so this is the kind of thing you would need, and like a bunch of their
It's
other
actually already it's benefiting a bunch of other people too. Cause
yeah, a bunch of their other creators have been like, this would be amazing to have. So
Yeah.
they're working on making that just a part of the platform. So
Yeah.
in the future, like that can even be a thing that's just there and integrated. The
Did
more
you-
that we
did you roll for the giveaway?
I haven't rolled the giveaway yet. No.
We should do it because that was
Sure, it's been a couple minutes. Yeah, everybody's in at this point. Yeah, because the main thing is the less that we have to have people like click away from the campaign page, it feels like the less likely we're going to lose people, and the less confusing it is, right?
all the information gets to be there, and we're
Yeah.
utilizing what we kind of did with Lowtown by creating panels. of information. So like all of our graphics and words on like, here's our hand-painted terrain, explore the forest, and we get to show those things. That all gets to be consolidated into one panel as well, and it's a very easy design. There's also anchor links on the side of the page. That's one of the things I've also really appreciated is that like if you want to go directly to the rewards, you just click on that immediately and you get brought down there instantaneously. There's, like Kickstarter, there is also a comments bar where you can go directly to the comments and look at them. There's also updates and FAQ sections as well. And I just think that but the best part about the FAQ and the comments, oh sorry, not the FAQ, but the best part about the comments that I saw you do was the tags. Mm-hmm. There are ways for us to tag comments when they get answered. So if you do like #forest4, and then there's comments that get brought up that when that's how it works, right? It's
yeah,
like
if somebody asks a question,
tagged it.
Yeah, if somebody asks a question, we can then respond to it and put a tag on it with like the relevant topic, and then people can just search those tags to find information about the stuff that they're wondering about. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see when it goes. Like, I'm not sure how useful it's going to be for this campaign because it is stuff we've done before.
Yeah.
But if we do a campaign with a lot of new stuff in it, where everybody's like learning all this stuff from scratch again, it could be a really useful feature. Like,
right.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to roll this giveaway. Enumbro. Enumbro or Enumbro?
Maybe Enumbro?
An embryo.
No.
It's a me. An embryo. Congratulations, you won a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card. I'm gonna whisper you real quick.
Congratulations.
Just need to get the email attached to it. Congratulations, you won. Cool. Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any other?
Does anybody have any other questions about his work?
questions?
Oh, Mascon was wondering how many sets.
What?
He was wondering how many
was
sets.
that the question? I thought it was a joke question.
Well, the joke part of it is he's like, I gotta write reviews of all of them. But I think he's mostly asking like what percentage of the sets are new versus existing sets.
It's
It's
about like no, it's certainly not half and half. The new sets there are 20 quote unquote new sets, and of those new sets, about half of those new sets are just reconfigurations. So it's about 20 new sets and about 50 in total. So I guess it's just under half. I thought it was a little bit closer than that, but I thought it was a little bit farther.
It's mostly things like there's a couple new configurations that are like collections of scatter into like themed scatter, where it's like these pieces were hard to get and it would be useful to like bring them into here. Like we've got this like this it's called like wilderness ambush.
The wilderness ambush.
Yeah,
dressing.
wilderness ambush dressing, which is like, hey, it gets you the whip stakes and like some hollow hedges, and it's a pretty cheap pack, and it gets you like dressing and scatter, where it gets you like all the traps and stuff from.
We've started calling some of like we had a couple of things that we called skirmish packs, where it was like, hey, this is also really helpful for like quick builds and things. Yeah. The other thing that I like about the Game Found thing is like the layout, where we get to categorize these add-on packs too. Mm-hmm. So they don't necessarily have as rich of a tag system as our web store, for instance, but they do still get to sit within subcategories that we then get to say like, here's all these mountain things that we want to put next to each other. Here's all the trifecta ledges right next to each other, so you can kind of see how these things pair up. And
yeah, we're trying to take a lot of we're making a bunch of like informational like content, GIFs, images and stuff to like try and make this stuff as easy to understand as possible. Will you have what it was and what it turned into? Yeah, in the description we'll say like this is a reconfiguration of, because with a lot of them, like with the escarpments, like the names didn't really change for most of them. There are some where it changed, like the concave builder. Yeah, is a well, that's just also a new pack.
It's a new pack, but it was a breakdown of one thing. So,
but like escarpment straights, it's the same name, but the composition has changed. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Same thing with the trifecta ledges. It's like trifecta ledge straight companion pack. It's like it's the same name,
but it'll have all those sets that are new configurations, whether it's a reconfiguration or just a straight up new set will have a label that says Wildlands Reforged on it instead of just Wildlands.
Just Reforged.
And so it'll just say Reforged on it?
Just says Reforged.
Right, it'll just say Reforged on it. Right. So it'll be easy to see like, oh, these are the new compositions.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then in the shipping calculator as well, they will have a Reforged tag.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also just click that Reforged tab and see what that is. I am considering still doing a backer-friendly sheet, but because of the way that the system works within GameFound, I'm less concerned with it because it is like...
I'm sure people are still going to be wanting to optimize it.
They'll want to optimize. I just mean to say like it's an easier system that like the spreadsheet's not teaching you exactly what you have to buy.
I think the main thing is like you're not dealing with having like 10 landmarks and 10 districts this time where like there's a bunch of different... You don't really have that here. It really is just like what pieces do you want? And there are very clear add-ons for getting those pieces.
So that's what I mean is that like I'm probably still going to do it. I just mean like its usefulness I'm looking at like I don't know, maybe.
Are you guys going to the factory to see the test shots for Colt, or are you shipping them back and forth like you did for Wildlands?
Consistently, the way that our process works is shipping them back and forth. That is the optimal way. Because if I were to make a trip specifically to go see the test shots, that would wait until the very end, and that's not a good idea. They'd have to make everything. They'd have to get all the way to the end of their process with every single piece before I would go over there.
That's fair.
And then that would...
At least it's only a couple pieces.
It's 178 pieces in Colt.
Nice.
And then not to mention all the train trays and additional artworks. You want to go? You want to take care
I
of
would
that?
I would love to be flown to China. What are you talking about?
But most of the time what they do is they send those test shots directly to us. And so we'll also be able to look at them here. Additionally, they're part of our new process is that they are doing red wax for parts of the molds. So we're actually getting to see those even before they push those onto metal mold as well. So we're seeing a lot of really cool things from this, highly detailed kind of things. And I want to talk about it more, but I have to double check with Nate about what's going in the current update for the month. Because if some of it's going to be said there, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
How long until we see all your Star Wars minis in battle on the sci-fi terrain? Probably by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because we're definitely going to do a Forge report on it. Like, there's no way we don't.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play. We can play so many games we haven't been able to play on the channel before once we have sci-fi.
Yes.
But yeah, like it's looking very definite that we are going to reveal it by the end of the year. The campaign probably won't be till early next year, but like
sci-fi is not until 2024.
But
confirmed, like straight up.
But like we're gonna be able to show you some stuff by the end of the year for sure. Like it's
even before then.
It's coming along very beautiful.
Yeah, like it is not from lack of want. It is strictly just because we are doing everything we can. I'm completely comfortable saying this. I don't know if Nate said this yet. This is the first time we are doing a completely 3D modeling for sculpts.
Mm-hmm.
Like these things are being made with that in mind, so that they have this kind of like that like machined precision kind of a look. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of one of the best parts is that like it gets very clean and it gets to be very cool like geometrically, and it also gets to be iterated out in a different kind of way than we've been able to do. And because it's this new design and it's this new system and line of product, we're doing a lot more designs up front. We're really trying to explore what we do and don't like about everything. Yeah. Or like what kind of thing do we really want to see within sci-fi.
Yeah, and it's still produced in Dwarvenite. To be clear.
Yeah, no.
We're not.
I'm just talking about the design.
Yeah, he doesn't mean we're 3D printing the stuff.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
It is everything is the exact same outside of just how we've designed this line of product.
We're doing some stuff with this set that is wildly different than we've been able to than we've done before, and I think wildly different than anybody has been able to figure out how to do.
Yeah. With
sci-fi terrain before. It's genuinely like mind blowing to see what they're pulling off. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to show.
The thing about it too is that it's like it's again another design principle thing of what we want to do for our sustainability in the future. And we've talked about this a couple of times. I think I know that Nate has on the Anvil. I think a couple of times about just like, we don't know how many how many other 300-piece Kickstarters we have in us. Not just from a standpoint of what that means to you guys, the customer, but also what it means to us as a group being able to actually do those things. So we're trying to be more mindful about how we actually pace these things out and how we actually tackle new lines of product. And for us, in the dev team, especially for me specifically, this is a movement I've been pushing for a very long time, was just trying to do things in a way that like allowed it to be more expressive for one idea, and that be a line of product that you get to go experience. So when I saw somebody talk about like organics and sci-fi, that could be really cool. Absolutely, we're all on board for that too. And the best part is that when we get to move on from this kind of part of the project, we'll be able to go back to our clay sculpt as well, and we'll be able to do a lot more mixing and matching of those kinds of designs. But this one is about a lot more like core stuff, like how do we get the initial batch out. And that's what I'm really excited about. There's a lot of stuff here, I guarantee you. But I'm just trying to.
Well, because everybody wants to talk about sci-fi more than anything.
Let's see.
Drum Slam, that's been there for a bit. When did new Wilderness build videos start going up? Very soon, actually.
Yes.
We're making 3 getting started videos. One of them is actually completely finished, and we're going to be uploading them before the campaign launches. So Forest is completely finished. Swamp is, I think, 1 more passive revisions, and then that's ready. And then Mountain will be right after that.
Cool.
So we're gonna have those 3, and then maybe some other supplemental stuff. But yeah, those are coming very soon.
I do mean digital sculpting. Yes. Yes.
Let's see. Can you please confirm Lightfucker and Fogger compatibility?
So the intention is yes.
We can't guarantee it makes the cut.
Currently, the Light Puck has something that we're working on, but I don't believe we have something just yet for the Fogger. And in all honesty, we probably won't in this initial batch, and then it would be a thing in the future that we would want to try to do. Exactly that, where it's like, what we want to try to do is make sure that like each line kind of has some showpieces, has these really big, and I think the ideas we have lean much more heavily into the Light Puck compatibility rather than a Fogger compatibility. No specific confirmation either way, but I would say we're leaning more on the Light Puck side.
That said, I'm sure somebody's going to find a way to do
there
some
is
weird
no
Fogger
shortage
stuff.
of
Somebody's going to find a way to do something with the Fogger.
exactly. How many pieces? I can't tell you that.
Yeah, we don't want to play our hand too much here. It's another 200-piece Kickstarter. I'm sorry.
Between the two of you, who do you think will come out on top of the Star Wars Legion tournament on this new terrain? Look, Chris and I haven't even played Legion, and I don't know.
Speak for yourself.
But we've both individually played Shatterpoint, and I can't wait to play Chris because we've been excited to. We've both talked about like, oh, you could run this squad with this squad.
Yeah, we've been
because
we just opened the Jedi Hunters.
Yeah.
And the Darth Vader and Obi-Wan like dual pack like last week, and we were looking through the cards, and we were like, oh, this is a huge game change. Like for both of them, it's like adding these new abilities into the mix. It's like, oh, you can mix this with it. Yeah. It's gonna be rough.
Wilderness questions. Can we see the new War Game Scatter Rocky Elevation pack? It's the same pack. Same configuration for the Rocky Elevation. We just changed the name.
Yeah, the name changed to, that's Mountain Skirmish?
Or that's the Mountain Skirmish.
That's Mountain Skirmish pack. And there's now a Forest Skirmish and Swamp Skirmish pack as well that are new compositions.
Yeah, and they eke more closer to like the War Game Scatter-esque things that were present in the initial Kickstarter too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, I get you, Dragos. If we want to be pedantic, yeah.
If sci-fi is wildly successful, we'll have terrain themes going forward, city or wilderness, etc. I don't know if that is exactly how we would do it, but yeah, like the idea is if this set does really well, it's like cool, then we can do like another like sci-fi set that focuses on like a different thing.
Yeah, Consider it more in the realm of like, all right, so if hypothetically, if sci-fi is 35 pieces and those 35 pieces have 4 systems involved within them, from that point on, the expansions beyond that, like any system within Dwarven Forge, if you really break it down, is anywhere from about 7 to 12 pieces. Now, there's some cases like the scaffolding, which go up to like 18, but that's just because of the variance of, hey, we want a 2-inch, a 4-inch, and a narrow. So it's like there's some of that like gets a little bit weird, but like more times than not, a system within Dwarven Forge is around 7 to 12 pieces. So that's kind of how we're building these smaller projects is how do we make systems? How do we make fully realized things right here that then you, the backer, gets to then say, awesome, of those four systems, which all total about 30 to 35 pieces, I like those 2 systems, and I'm going to go back those things, and I'm going to get them in this quantity that I like. And so that overhead in terms of like what it costs us to make those molds, what it costs us to package those things and ship those things is reduced. And so then that also means, we don't have to make 2 million or 3 million. It's like if we get to those places, we get to feel really excited because you really like the product versus, what it takes to kind of like make these random one-off pieces that were like, hey, this is kind of a cool idea, but it really wasn't more than just this. So we're trying to like focus our builds more towards that kind of stuff where it's always useful on the table.
Rocky Scatter with Hollow Hedge. The Hollow Hedge is in the Forest Skirmish, so he probably just meant that this thing has like the. He probably meant that it has like both the Rocky Scatter / Mountain Skirmish pack as well as like the Forest Skirmish pack or something.
Oh yeah, sorry man, I don't know specifically, but there's the Hollow Hedge is in 2 packs. There are 2 different packs with a Hollow Hedge in it.
Yeah, let's see. For your board game, is the hope to get it into local game stores? I believe so.
What's that?
For the board game, is the hope to get it into local game stores?
Yes.
I think it's definitely. It's still too far to know, but yeah, definitely part of the conversation is like, how are we gonna How are we gonna package this to make it like give it like a nice box and.
The board game product itself is unlike anything that Dwarven Forge is, in its mainline product is. The dimensions and the footprints of some things are similar, but like it's effectively a completely different product. And as a consequence,
it's extremely early in development as well.
Yeah, no, I can't. The best I can say is yes. Our hope is that we would be able to go to local game stores, and one of the things we've been touching on is sort of like what a lot of other board game projects do, which is retailer options. And so we also have to learn what that means and how to vet these things and how to actually like make sure that anybody who is a retailer that we can, successfully sell to them. And what that entails and kind of like, do they only get the regular version? Do they get the deluxe? Whatever, right? Like whatever that is, we're also taking that under advisement.
So yeah, the idea is that because a board game is so different from what we usually do, we are also looking at alternative methods of selling and distributing it. And for it's very early.
Very early. For those asking, the board game is called Where Heroes Dare. And it is a project that we are currently doing with Stephen Baker. And it is a currently in development project that I can't say much more about. Not because there's specifically things we can't say, but more so there's not a lot that I can say.
How about sponsor a table for Shadowpoint or Legion? Yeah, we've been thinking about sponsoring tables as well, and we're trying to hit Adepticon next year. Yeah. Again, we want to go back. Talk of a Vaulted Dungeon Core Mega. Any progress on that? So, if this GameFound campaign does well, then it seems like it would be a very good vehicle for us to do those dungeon reconfigs that we were talking about.
Yep.
We still need to have the factory. We still need to get do the sculpts and get them to the factory so they can make the molds for it and everything. Sculpts are done?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So we just need to get to the factory and have them do their stuff then. Cool. Yeah. So if this does really well, we could then do a similar GameFound project for dungeons next year and and
again,
put it in there.
this starts to help push us towards the model that we want to go with in dev, which is
more regular, smaller projects.
more regular, smaller projects, and
Yeah.
some of those are new lines of product. Some of that is reconfiguring existing product and doing it as a pre-order. So, for instance, the Stairway to Violence is coming into the store in October, and that's great. And what we would want to do in a future Caverns product, reconfig would be like things like that piece being like the stretch goals we have for this one, where it's kind of like we want to make sure you guys get all the basic stuff that you want in the quantities you want, but then unlock this option that we can then put into the surplus of the store. Basically, based on a success, we can put more things that you guys want in there.
Also, Froon, the vaulted diagonal wall pack is being restocked in either September or October. It's in one of those.
Yeah.
So that pack is being, because this project has taken so long, I've just been like, let's just restock that pack and just
Yeah.
get those in there. We'll probably sell them out before that game found happens.
Yeah.
Might have said this, will the board game be backwards compatible with other DF terrain? We don't know yet. I would say. We don't know. It's not gonna.
There's not. It's why I want to say that
Yeah.
it's a different product.
Yeah.
We don't know. So that's it.
I would not count on this being like an
Exact 1-to-1.
or like a dungeon expansion where it's like, ooh, new walls and floors makes it fun.
No.
Don't count on something like that.
No. It is a game first. Like it is its own unit of thing. And
If it turns out there's compatibility we can do that
Yeah.
makes sense and is
We're
cool,
going
then
to
we'll
do it.
But the main thing is we're trying to figure out what is going to make the best board game.
Absolutely.
That might mean backwards compatibility with our stuff. It might mean not.
Yeah. Well, that's what I
yeah.
mean is like there's a very specific point of this where it's like we want to make the best game. If we have the opportunity to make it cross compatible, yes, we will always jump at the chance to make sure that anything we create has this cross pollination with each other. But it is not at the forefront of our design of this game.
It's not the priority. Like this is not being targeted as here is a thing for the people who buy a lot of Dwarven Forge terrain. This is being targeted as here's a thing for people who love board games. So
Will it be forwards compatible? Well, we'll see.
yeah, we changed the entire.
Yeah, we just got to change everything else about everything else, and then
Yeah.
we're good. May only function optimally.
Any word on the Golem Walls pack? That would probably be in that dungeon game found if that happens. It could be a straight to store thing too if we really wanted to, but most
Yeah.
likely.
It's more likely that like we could potentially restock it on its own, but it'd be better to do it with a bulk of other things.
Yeah.
Whatever we don't get in the first minute, Mercer takes. If he's there,
Redo the scale. Yeah, we're actually changing to a.
we're changing to a Mercer only store.
Well, no, with the they're saying the piece may only function optimally within the game. Yeah, we're actually moving to like 40 millimeter
Oh yeah.
for the board game. Like,
Yeah.
making a standalone game. Yeah, we announced it a while back, but there hasn't been a lot of news about it because it's still just early in development. So there really just isn't a lot to say. There really is very little we can actually say about the board game.
Yep.
Just because it is.
I just
early.
There's just nothing to say because
Yeah.
everything is moving. So
Isn't it like Contra? Yeah, we're making an arcade game.
oh, I don't know. Are
We're making
you
a Dwarven Forge
yeah
arcade cabinet. That'd be sick.
modular game cabinet? If you had to describe the vibe of the new Star Wars terrain in 3 bands, what might they be? Bands?
Wait. Describe the vibe of the new sci-fi terrain. So saying like pick 3 bands. Okay, let's see. What's the name of that cantina? What's the name of the cantina band that plays?
Mos
jazz?
Eisley Cantina.
It is just the Mos Eisley Cantina band.
Yeah. Well, that's not like.
They play in the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah.
Aren't they literally like the Jizz Whalers or something?
I don't think that You gotta look that one up. I'm not
Because the
gonna.
genre is, I think they literally are. Hang on, I gotta. All right, hang on.
Oh God.
Because the genre is all right. It's figurine Dan and the modal nodes. Got it.
I can't believe you just said that out loud, Christopher.
It's okay. George Lucas said it first. Yeah. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, why am I laughing? You're right. Yeah, that's not funny.
I'm not the one who named it that. Like,
Um,
Max Rebo. You can input the contra code to win a free Titan suit. That'd be very funny if we could program the game found.
So in 3 bands, yikes.
That fit the sci-fi thing?
Okay.
Andy Waters. Look her up.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
It's not a band is the problem. I
It's
could
more
give
like
you
a
like
feeling.
yeah, genuinely I could give you like a song, or I could give you like a thing that was closer to that.
Kid Cudi made that space album.
Oh my god, no.
Kid Cudi made a space album.
Yes, but not Kid Cudi.
Only that space album though, not like the rest of his work, but like the space album, yeah.
Why? Because it's just about space?
Yeah, it's very space.
No, that's not the feeling of our sci-fi.
It's super space.
Super space.
Space shanties. It's very hard because it's hard just not to think like. Doesn't have to be a band, just like you. So you just want words?
No, I am having fun with it. No, you're fine. It was just like
I'm trying to think of like any.
I'm just trying
any
to think
band I
of
can
a.
think of.
Well, think of the
Jefferson Starship.
No.
Like it's just like
Amy Waters was good.
yeah, genuinely.
I do, but I mean it's a lot of like video game covers. But Amy Waters is good.
Well,
I would also
most of her original work is all space stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that's a fair point. The opening of Firefly.
It's my favorite band.
That's what I mean. It's like it's not a band. It's just like that's what I mean. It's like a song.
Oh,
but
the
like
Proto Men.
No, not the
Megas?
Proto Men, not the Megas. And then I'd probably say, you know,
It's more gritty than ethereal.
yeah.
Yeah, it's more like real world sci-fi than like wild alien magic sci-fi.
Yeah, we're not going into like we're not like doing Mobius stuff. We're not doing like the in-call kind of sci-fi. That's a deep cut. Do you know the in-call?
You know, Sliders.
Actually, you probably really like the in-call.
I don't know it.
Jodorowsky and Mobius.
Dragon Riders of Pern.
I don't know. It's hard to be on that. I can't really say nothing. Yeah.
It's very hard to like. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, we've said initially that like the.
I mean, it's
when we're
lived
talking
in.
about it- when we're talking about
It's
aesthetic,
Millennium
like,
Falcon.
It's Firefly. It's original Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
It's that.
Rustic,
It's,
lived in.
Yeah, it was like kind of dirty.
Not diesel punk,
Yeah.
but diesel-esque.
Grunge sci-fi. Yeah.
Yeah, grunge sci-fi for sure. But certainly not like it's not like techno or I almost said Daft Punk and I'm like it's not really Daft Punk.
It's not Daft Punk at all.
So it has much more of a it's
more bebop. It's more cowboy bebop.
That was what I was about to say. I was like
Yeah.
it's kind of seatbelts, but I'm like but yeah, it is.
It actually is. Yeah.
It's seatbelts. Like if there's any one band, seatbelts.
It's generally just like some Yoko Kanno.
Yep.
Like yeah.
Yep. That's really it.
Yeah, like genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
God, we got to do that. Man.
Mobius, the in-call would be great, but that is like some complicated stuff is the problem.
Depeche Mode isn't terribly off, I guess. Bebop also equals Firefly. I think they've got some similarities.
They
in
do.
terms of, like,
No,
yeah.
like Firefly certainly leans
Sci-fi that's about
heavier into the western.
sci-fi that's about cowboys on a big hunk of junk ship that barely works.
Bebop, Firefly, Trigun.
It's those kind of vibes. Trigun. It's not very Trigun, honestly.
It's not until we go to a desert planet.
We make like
The planet Gunsmoke.
Make just like a light puck compatible like back to container plant thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It works. It mostly works.
Firefly's a copy of Outlaw Star. Dude, I love Outlaw Star.
It does not age well.
I haven't watched it. To be fair, neither did I. I haven't watched it since I was like 10.
And that's why you are the way you
I was
are.
obsessed with it Yeah, I was obsessed with it when it would like come on like really late at night.
Toonami and Adult
Yeah.
Swim and
I'd
Outlaw
say-
Star, classic.
Yeah.
Love it. Bebop is better.
Big O.
And I don't think Firefly... I feel like Firefly is closer to Bebop than it is to Outlaw Star, I will say.
Outlaw Star's got a cowboy name right there. I guess Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
has-
I'm like,
has cowboy right in it.
squeeze me? What?
It's got outlaw in the name. That's way more cowboy than cowboy.
That's more cowboy than cowboy.
Yeah. Never mind. Let's see. Desert Train works well for fantasy or sci-fi?
You are correct.
That will eventually happen.
Okay,
Everything
Paul.
will happen if you give us enough time. Modular Gundams?
I love that because it's a nothing statement. Everything
absolutely
will
is.
happen if you give us enough time.
Hey, man, give us monkeys like infinite time, and infinite.
I thought you were about to say infinite monkeys. Just give us infinite monkeys.
give us infinite
we can get anything done.
Dude, give us infinite monkeys and infinite like monster clay, and like we'll make everything.
Eventually, they'll make
It's just we
Shakespeare.
would be the monkeys. Is the thing.
Yeah, we would
right?
be the monkeys. Yeah, we're the monkeys.
Yeah.
Could you imagine infinite use? Like, what if you had to live with yourself?
I wouldn't.
I know, but like, what if you had to?
I wouldn't. I would find it. Yeah.
You,
Are there any reasons why fantasy only
life
doofus
needs
be
things
convinced
to
to buy this?
live. Yes.
There will be some. Yeah, there are ways that you can work sci-fi stuff into fantasy very convincingly. Read Dragon Riders of Pern.
Oh yeah, and
then
also
do that.
the compatibility within sci-fi with the rest of the line, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It, like immediately, yes. That is our hope and our dream is to even within the campaign show how it works with the wilderness lines, show how it can mix in with your cities, show how you can mix it in with your dungeons and caverns. The compatibility of stuff is on every project. It's on our mind with every project. We want to know how these things compare up together and give you guys new interesting ways to use your terrain. When it comes to, there is one thing on sci-fi too. It's like we haven't exactly gotten down to some brass tacks about like what we want to do terrain tray wise. You know, like, so that's a thing that I think would be awesome to hear about is like,
Space.
yeah, wow, who would have ever thought, oh my gosh,
It'd be the easiest
novel
design to make.
idea. You want to just make a black mat? You just
Oh,
want to
yeah.
make just like a,
I want to get the license for Starry Night.
it doesn't even look like space, it's
Doesn't
just
look
a
like anything.
landscape. So
Makes no
good.
sense.
Have I ever seen sunless seas, sunless skies? I don't think so.
I've heard of this. Why have I heard of this?
Spelljammer
Definitely heard of this.
compatibility? I mean, probably not. Spelljammer ends up being a lot more like, in my opinion, Spelljammer becomes a lot more like
More Treasure Planet. We
Treasure
should do
Planet.
Treasure Planet.
and if
Oh,
we
we
don't
should
even
do
have
Treasure
modular ships, then no.
Games have amazing writing. That's where I know them.
Compat this. Oh, can you scroll up a bit?
Ham Planet. What's up? What are you looking for?
I was just reading and it skipped over. I have yet to run a D&D game, but that will be sprinkled sometimes. So I'll just you guys. That should be good. I just was making sure.
Yeah, stop trying to trick us into saying stuff about sci-fi that we're not supposed to say. First off,
What do you mean not supposed to say?
come on. There's.
I'm the head of development, baby. I can do whatever I want.
Nate's gonna.
Well, you think Nate's going to be upset with what I said today?
Potentially.
No.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Like I'm really excited for it. We're doing a lot of really cool stuff we never did before.
Yeah. No, it's good. This was more supposed to be about the Wildlands Reforged stuff, but
I felt like we kind of got through.
that's the thing is
what
like
there
we
was.
talked about everything, and then we
Are
got to
there
keep-
other questions about Reforged that
Yeah. Is there anything?
we're gonna start putting up videos and stuff?
That's my main
over the next
class,
couple days?
baby.
You do like rogues.
I do.
Nate never likes to reveal beans. That's why he'll be mad if somebody else does it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably the quickest way to get fired.
Just start doing beans.
Yeah.
Well, he's the bean slayer. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I heard you spilled some beans.
so why did you leave your last job? I spilled the beans.
Bonk. Beans. What Shatterpoint scenarios are you most excited to play on the new Wilderness setups?
Your Honor, my client would never spill the beans.
We are here to talk about how your client made sure to spill every bean that they ever had.
What Shatterpoint scenarios are you most excited to play on the new Wilderness setups? So far, I've only seen one scenario. Is the main thing. I don't think they've released a second scenario yet.
Not that I noticed. Not even in the other
I might be
packs.
misunderstanding something, but yeah, I haven't seen another mission yet, so I don't know. Any update on a Spore Claw stretch goal? Did that get it on the list? I think you got it on the list. Did you put? I can't remember. Oh, right. To be determined. Reforge has the huge hummock. Yeah, huge hummock is in at the base.
Yeah.
At the base at launch.
Similar,
huge hummock. Yeah, huge hummock is
at
in
launch.
there.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you guys have any like specific pack questions, and we can answer them. There's nothing. We're not trying to hide off on the component sets. We're just trying to also like put it on the page, and like let you guys see it. But outside of us just like saying stuff, so that way you can kind of just like see it at the same time. But
hey man, look, if this does well enough, you can have whatever you want. We'll make a sci-fi set if this campaign does well enough. You should have promised a sci-fi set after Lowtown.
we should have never promised anything.
Dude, that promise was the best thing we ever did.
I'm just saying, if Nate is upset with me doing beans, then this is recompense. This is
for you.
This is my retribution. Yeah. If he told us that we have to do sci-fi, then we have to talk about sci-fi.
Is there a pack of multiple hollow hedges? There are packs that have multiple hollow hedges. There is no pack that is just the hollow hedges. But there are multiple ways to get the hollow hedge now.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you anticipate once we forge this store, you'll be able to keep up with keeping things in stock through the regular restock cadence? Hopefully. That's the goal, right?
Yeah. It's part of why we're doing it this way.
We want to get enough overstock that we can just like restock a couple of those sets every couple months and keep things in rotation. Is the dream.
Yes.
You know, we'll see if we can execute it. Can you also go over all the Hightown packs? Hightown's dead. We cut it.
Do you anticipate once?
It's not true.
Wait, go back up a little bit. Do you anticipate, is what I was looking at.
That's what I just said.
Oh, that's the one you just did.
That's what I just said.
Sorry.
Which swamp pack is being configured? Oh, the...
It was the,
what was the name of that
Islands pack,
Islands, yeah.
if I recall correctly. No, it was the Ponds. Apologies.
Ponds,
it was the
yes.
Ponds pack got reconfigured.
That's basically...
And then we added an additional one.
Yeah, we basically stripped out the banks that were in it that were in other packs to make it an advanced builder pack. That gives you the we made it more focused around the big,
and the concave.
Yeah, so it gives you those two big chunky things that weren't in any other pack. And so it made it a much cheaper pack, and now like the whole collection, it's easier to say like I want these things.
This is why I'm doing these things, and then it becomes Ponds Rivers Winding River pack is the new one, and so it becomes these are the use case packs. And then the sort of just like bulk up your number thing is the basic, the advanced, the 3x3 swamp floor, and then the swells pack. So that way you have like multiple ways to kind of like add on top of what you're trying to do with your river run, or add on top of what you're trying to get within the islands builds. So,
can you give a ballpark estimate price for the all 3 biome combo bundle? What did that wind up at?
With discount, I believe it's around 36.
Nice. And so that includes the three hero bundles as well as the trifecta companion mega pack.
Yes.
So that way you can actually build the mountains in line with the forest floors and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, $36.
3,600.
3,600 cents.
Got any crystal for sale? Get out of here.
Hey. The legacy of the crystals has shaped our fate for long enough.
Dude, it has.
Yeah.
Certainly shaped that's my life.
I'm here to kill chaos. I don't know about you.
Oh my gosh.
I still need to play that.
I have something to tell you after
After 16, after 16, I need to play Stranger of Paradise.
Yeah. You take pictures of my current swamp build. Definitely can see that. My list is.
Will there ever be a restock of the totally clear caverns? Maybe at some point.
Doubtful.
Some people really, really want it, but it's also just a very weird.
And I completely understand it. Like it's not a. I don't think anybody desires it. It's just manufacturing-wise, it doesn't make sense.
It also just doesn't combine with anything. It's
And because we also remastered some of those pieces, it would effectively mean some of them don't have anchor magnets, or we would have to then go to those pieces and put anchor magnets in. It's a weird thing where it's like it's not entirely worth it for us to try, especially just for like a simple product like that. That would then effectively take a SKU, take some inventory that could go to something else that was a little bit more useful.
Yeah, it's an extremely weird pack for us. I understand.
So,
especially people who like do their own painting, I understand why it's such a desirable thing. But it just
and you're exactly right. Like the unpainted, you could do a lot more options with it. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a little too niche for us to like try to actually get it.
It is way down the list in terms of priorities.
Yeah. I wish because clear dwarvenite is also a little bit more expensive than like regular dwarvenite. So that's another thing where it's like it would end up having to be like if we made it. The only scenario I could see us doing it in is like if we wanted to make a specific pack that was only available unpainted, and you only got it clear. And then we did like a production run of just that. But that, again...
It's such a weird thing.
It comes back down to like, probably not. There's potentially a way. I just don't think it can happen.
You have to mine clear dwarvenite much deeper in the earth, I imagine. Yeah. That's more or less it.
And you're having difficulty replacing batteries on the pylons from Wildlands. I can understand that. The batteries there, the housing mechanism is a little tough. Like it can get kind of tight in the pylon.
See, there's some crystal caverns coming in October. Yeah, the epic elements are coming either in September or October. The walls and corners went up today, and man, the top sellers were both versions of the crystal caverns. We sold out of the standard. We sold out of over half of the Underdoom.
Yeah.
I haven't checked in a couple hours because we were doing this. But yeah, so they we're getting an order in on the standard as quickly as possible. We're gonna see when we can get that in here. But yeah, maybe we can tack it on to one of these coming in. I don't know.
Maybe
We'll have to see.
Just very 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 big.
But yeah, we're planning to get more as quickly as possible.
It's just
but we proved that people do actually want them, which is the important thing.
With this reorder, with Lowtown production.
Yes.
That's what's holding it up a little bit.
We're putting more through to the factory than we ever have, I think. We have them working on more stuff than we ever have before.
So.
Yeah.
Was there any doubt? I don't know, Orion. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? To some of us, no. To others of us, maybe.
I mean,
Probably.
I don't particularly need the crystal caverns myself.
Yeah, I know that you don't like it, but
yeah. So that's why I had no opposition to doing it, because I was like, if people really want it, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, like it became very obvious.
Okay, what else?
Yeah.
There's really not anything.
Okay,
I'm just
Orion.
excited to get stuff up on the GameFAQ page that we can have.
'Twas me. I said the nay.
No, you didn't.
No.
I don't even think you were involved in the conversation.
Ouch.
In that specific one, no.
No. It was about a reorder. It was like I don't care.
Yeah. Next up is clearly noting retired sets in the web store. Boy, ain't that the truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, genuinely. Like
the nice thing is, I think you're about to start seeing a lot of improvements to the web store. We are investing more in web development than we ever have, and so I think through the end of the year, you're going to see a lot of big changes happening, and I think it's going to get a lot better very quickly.
You're going to start growing taller, start growing hair in kind of weird places.
It's not worth bringing that up, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
It's an off-camera thing.
Okay.
Is there anything else to cover?
I'm glad that you know what we have to cover? I'm glad that our OTA is the way it is.
I think we're both half asleep.
Yeah.
Which isn't helping. Hey, so with the Reforged project, can we not get kicked out of the web store for browsing too extensively? Is that a thing? Wait.
I don't know if you're.
Does it lock
Are you
people out?
joking or is it?
Does it lock people out if they browse too much?
Because that's a legit thing that we should.
What?
Okay.
Wait, why is that happening?
So you're saying.
Can't wake up if you don't fall asleep.
That's
Can't wake up if you don't fall asleep.
That's right.
You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think about that all the time.
It was very good.
What a good movie.
God. What was shoot. Gotta eat to live, gotta live to eat.
gotta eat to live, gotta live to eat.
But no, if that is
the-
happening, then we will go try to address that, and
Yeah,
it will be
let's,
about the particulars about how it happens.
If you have a lot of tabs, you need to do captchas and stuff. It rate limits you apparently. Huh. Okay. I didn't know anything about that. I'm also
Interesting.
not educated.
Well,
I've
and
never
I
known
wonder
about
if it's a Shopify thing.
It might be a
know, like,
Shopify
it
thing.
might
That is
just be
true.
a-
We only have so much control over.
Some of it.
Although I don't
So-
know. Maybe we'll see. We're gonna have more ability
How much
to.
browsing are you doing? Are you opening up 50 tabs?
Apparently,
I guess.
I don't know.
Right.
I've never bought our stuff. Why would I? It's all for free right over there.
Yeah,
Why
come
would
on,
I-
guys. Just come over, just come over here. It's all free.
Why does
right
anybody
over-
buy this
it's
stuff?
just free.
Why does anybody buy this stuff?
just
come,
free.
Just come to the office.
Come here. Come on.
Come on. Let's see. At least you want Pokemon Center that bans your IP for 24 hours.
Hmm.
What?
Come to
I think it's
65.
Cloudfire, Flare, whatever. Oh, that's fair. Don't even give out a fake address, because if it ends up being somebody's actual address, they're gonna get harassed.
Perfect.
Don't even give out a fake address for a joke.
Perfect. That's
Don't
all I
even.
want. I want to see it.
The amount of times I'm never gonna write sensitive information on this whiteboard, because the amount of times that people have tried to read that whiteboard thinking that there would be important stuff on there, like thinking there's gonna be
Yeah.
like beans
You
or
put
stuff.
like Well, the funny thing is that the little star path kind of looks like a butt.
What I should do is just write a bunch of. That's literally just a map of the lights up there, labeling which one is which number.
Right.
Yeah. And I still can't get this stuff right. Let's
Wharf
see.
Avenue is perfect.
Wharf.
Yeah.
Wharf.
I don't. Let's just start heading over there. I slam this all the time when
What did you say? Just like 65? Everybody just starts going to 65.
yeah, it's just 65. I don't know where that is, but yeah,
I should get Pokemon plushies. Why have I not?
it's super easy to get banned from Pokemon.
Man. Dwarven Forge window does have about 70 to
You
100
have
tabs
you have a
open in it.
separate window for just Dwarven Forge. I love it.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Yeah, come on down to 30 Rockefeller Center. We should just claim that our address is.
Oh man, that'd be great.
We should just claim that our address is 30 Rock.
Light beans.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll look into that. I didn't know that was a thing. The in-stock filter should be fixed. I don't even know why that disappeared.
Yeah, that was probably
was
just a.
This is the issue with not actually having a web developer, which I'm glad that we've
adjusted. We've made that change.
Adapted. Our internet business now has a web developer.
Our internet business can now do the internet.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think we only got like 2 minutes anyway.
Yeah, we just really got to stretch it out. We got 4 minutes, so we got to make sure it's long enough that we can monetize the video. Are there any other questions?
Yeah. Got to monetize this one.
So the thing with
This
Reforged.
is the one we want people to watch over and over again.
So the thing with Reforged. Hey, along with Letitia,
Mm-hmm.
Tyler and I have been the leads on Wildlands Reforged.
Yes,
So we just need you to know, if this fails,
it's
we're
your fault.
dead. We're dead.
You've killed us.
If this thing winds up sinking the company,
Yeah.
it's entirely on us.
I can't believe you would do this to us.
Yeah. When you don't buy when you don't buy Wildlands, this is who you're hurting.
Glamourleaf and Reforged.
I think Glamourleaf. Can we say? I'm trying to remember where it even is.
If I'm not saying, we probably can't say.
What if you just forgot?
I don't. What if I forgot? What if I
Yeah.
forgot what pieces were in the project?
Yes.
of the two of us.
God forbid me, I'm not there for you in your moment of weakness.
Don't say anything, is my point.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. There's something. Yep, it's in there.
Beans at Gen Con? No. Unfortunately, we won't be showing off anything sci-fi or Hightown at Gen Con.
Yeah, we don't have anything new ready to show.
Yeah. How much does DF spend on advertising?
Not enough. I don't want to wake up one day with the front page replaced with a we're closing message. They would the company wouldn't close. We would just be on the street. They would they would throw us out.
We would still be doing work.
We live here.
Go on
That's
the
fair.
street.
We just said it. They would move our computers out to the sidewalk. Was there a giveaway? Yes. Everyone could always use more conifers. If you got conifers and reforged, then you're good. Yeah.
Who are you?
Chris is streaming from his room right now. I live here. This wouldn't be a terrible office to live in. It's pretty good food right around.
Well, we don't have the couch anymore, so.
The couch, I slept on that couch.
That's why I got rid of it. Really.
It had too much of my stank on it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
You left your slime on it.
I mean, if anybody ever saw that like Halloween game that Matt Lillard did, I think it was on D&D's channel. It was like his first time like publicly DMing or whatever. When we did that, so I produced it, and when we did that, he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna start filming at." He's like, "We're gonna start filming at like 10 p.m." I'm like, "All right, that's pretty late." Turned out it was 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Pacific. So we started filming that game at 1 a.m. over here.
Remember that?
And so I just slept here afterwards because we had a couch at that point in time.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like wrapped up at like 5 a.m, and I was like, cool, I got a meeting in 4 hours. I'm gonna crash here. And
well, we don't do that anymore.
No. Yeah, now we don't have a couch, so I just sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the beanbag.
We also just try to set up our events better.
That is fair. We also just schedule things better.
Cause
that was also entirely out of our control.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like we would have talked about that prior to that and said like 10 p.m. Excuse me, baking powder.
Yeah. Starting at 10 p.m. on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Wild.
Realize
we can see the mic camera thing in Tyler's video. Are you talking about the lav on his mic, or are you talking about the light that's hanging right there?
The light.
Okay. Stormforge is a New York City company, second best pizza, first best gaming terrain.
Wow!
Hey,
whoa! Second best.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Is he gonna say Chicago?
Yeah, you're gonna talk about.
Are you gonna defend Deep Dish New Haven? All right, so he's specifically
what
just
Connecticut?
Memeing. He's specifically just memeing on us.
Jay says that all the time. Jay has talked.
New Haven, Connecticut?
Yes. Jay raves about their pizza. Portland has the best pizza.
Why would New Haven?
I can't agree.
Why would New Haven?
Portland has the greatest pizza. I'm from Portland. It does not have the greatest pizza.
Why would New Haven? Does New Haven actually have a pizza culture, or is there just a place there?
New Haven pizza, best in the world, the best. Frank Sinatra wrote a song called New York, New York, but his favorite pizza was from Pepe's.
They had Italian immigrants around the same time as New York City. Yeah, but don't act like New York pizza is authentically Italian, first off. It's not.
The best part, too, which Portland? Oregon. I'm from Oregon.
Yeah.
But the best part, too, of this is that, like, he's not even saying that, like, New York pizza sucks. You're just saying that it's second best, and I think that's what's funny is that it's like I could not care, but it feels weird that Connecticut somehow has.
Actual Italian pizza is very different than like all the pizza we got here. Honestly, it's wild.
Portland has donuts. Yes, they do.
It's hard to say best because there's so many places.
We need to go to sleep. Get out of here.
You need to go to sleep.
Yeah, you.
The point is, yeah, we're a New York company.
Yes.
That's why Dwarvenite is so durable. Like the special material, it's the water, right? It's because of the water we have here. Domino's is a pretty clear number one. As far as chain pizza goes, Domino's is my favorite, I think.
Man, Rocco's was the best place in Portland to get pizza.
No one knows what's in Maine.
Or Atlas.
Maine does
Atlas
have a
Pizza
Portland.
was also great in Portland.
Is it Texas that has a Paris? It's like a Paris,
Yeah,
Texas.
Paris, Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
But now Rocco's is gone. Now it's a sizzle pie. Sheesh.
Oh, yeah, the $5 Little Caesars pizzas saved me in my frozen yogurt days.
Cannot believe it.
When I was
Dwarf
making $9 an
water.
hour, it was one of the only meals I could have that was...
That's a great April Fool.
What?
Instead of water tiles, dwarven water.
We kind of did that with reliquariums.
I know. I just mean like we've
Let's do a
heard your
different
request.
water-themed joke every year.
Yeah, we've heard your request for water tiles.
We have a lot of
Here it
ideas.
is, dwarven water.
That monkey April Fool's thing this year was a last-minute thing
Yeah.
that we did because we didn't have enough time after Lowtown to do the idea that we actually wanted to do. So I'll probably save it for next year.
Orion and
I'm-
Keenan, have you gone to Atlas Pizza so far? It's on like Burnside.
Are we actually... Remember Pizza Schmitza?
Pizza a feta. in
They're like,
Cannon
you want
Beach."
peanut butter pizza? Come get it.
I guarantee you, pizza.
I love the
peanut butter pizza is probably okay.
I loved that pizza. It was my favorite one from there.
From Godfather's.
From Pizza Schmitza.
I'm the guy who made Godfathers. A pizza so gross it made you. It's like a restaurant so gross it made kids hate pizza.
Guys, because I know the owner of Monterey Pizza and his home brick oven in his backyard. The best ever. All right, so here's the
Yeah,
thing.
Schmitza is good.
I feel like, well, I don't know. Portland has you find a lot of culture. Are we?
I get it,
How long
man.
are we going to argue about
I get it.
Ken's Artisan Pizza? Ken's Artisan Pizza sounds like something you would get in the frozen section at the grocery store. Just that
Sure.
name. That name
Well, it's like
sounds like.
Amy's, right? Like it's got that same kind of energy.
I love
Minis.
getting frozen pizza that is just like I don't taste anything. I
Yeah.
can see that there's technically pizza style stuff on this. I don't taste anything.
Yeah.
It just feels like, and it's always way too thick.
I am biased because I know the owner of Modern. Yeah. No, that.
What's
that
the best
always-
pizza
that
in New
always
York
makes-
City? Tony's.
Tony's.
Tony's. That was my local pizza place. That was our local pizza place when we
Yeah.
lived
Yeah.
in Brownsville. I should go back there sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can pizza from
It's
Chuck E.
not
Cheese. on
delivery.
DoorDash.
It's
a ghost
disappointing.
kitchen. Best pizza in New York? I don't know. There's a lot of... So that's going to vary on, like, one, what style of pizza you want.
Sure.
There's a lot of very good places.
Well, Tony's wasn't like New York pizza though. That's the
No.
funny thing. Tony's
No, it
was
wasn't.
closer to the Chicago style. It wasn't
Yes.
deep dish, but it was closer to Chicago style.
Freaking deep dish, dude. I almost
I think my
died.
favorite pizza place here in NYC is
I do like Barboncino a good amount.
There's Ray's.
Sicilian's very good.
Ray's Pizza. He's got a location right there in Times Square, but then there's also a second one like further south. But
General, like-
Ray's Pizza is probably my favorite in NYC.
The Barboncino Roberta's style pizza is pretty solid.
Those are good pizzas. I just think that
Grimaldi's-
sometimes.
Grimaldi's is like overrated. I don't understand
Yeah, I don't get it.
why Grimaldi's is so famous.
It's like, gosh, there's another one that's out there. That
It's
I can't
tragedy that
remember.
Two Bros prices went up. Yeah, but also there's no way that was sustainable, right? Two Bros saved me during college.
Oh man,
It saves me every night.
All right,
when I'm-
I don't think we can do
Keep
this much
talking
longer.
about pizza?
mean,
I feel like
we
we've
can
been
keep
doing a
talking about
great
pizza.
job.
We genuinely got baited into arguing about pizza for like 5 minutes.
But that's, I mean, honestly.
Also, Lombardi's. Lombardi's is
Lombardi's
Lombardi's
nice,
alright.
I suppose.
Yeah. Just a ploy to keep you here. People feel very strongly about pizza. It's it's the only reason I moved here. There's got to be somebody who moved here for the pizza, right?
Isaac would.
Isaac would.
But he didn't. So
Isaac
I don't-
100% would. No, yeah, Isaac
Yeah.
would have. Isaac is our friend from back home.
Yeah.
We like kind of grew up together. I don't know if
I
that's
don't know if we've
true.
ever talked about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we went to high school together.
Yeah. And Isaac was the third one in our trio.
Mm.
And yeah, he would move out here for pizza. If we ever got him to come out here, it wouldn't be for
Yeah.
anything but the pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like D.D. Reese in Westwood by UCLA. It was $1 for 4 solid cookies or 2 cookies and a
Been to
scoop of ice
Ray's in
cream.
the Village.
Damn,
Yeah.
That's good.
Two Bros was
Love that.
very good for the price. That was probably the best bang. People talk about Two Boots a lot.
Two Boots is good. I think
Yeah.
it's like, and it's not like
oh, but it's blah blah blah. It's like, no, it's good. It's just
good.
kind of kitschy. It's like
It depends on like. That's the thing is like there's so many kinds of pizza. Is
Yeah.
The thing. Like, are you talking about like like the quick walk in, grab a slice? Like, are you talking about like
dollar pizza? No matter what you do, on the right night,
yeah,
it's amazing.
it's great. And there's so many like nameless like corner slice pizza places
Yeah.
that you can go into.
Yeah.
You can never try them all.
No.
Like,
Well, also, there's a couple of there's a couple of those chains where you're like, I did one that's basically all it's going to be everywhere else.
yeah, still Roberta's is very good.
Yes.
Roberta's up there. There's a lot of that style of pizza here too, though, and I don't know that I would say Roberta's is better than like
No.
the other because like Barboncino does that style.
Yeah. That's also
what's
what
the place?
Two Boots is similar to what Roberta's does.
Pies does that style. Like there's a lot.
But
of,
that's a good pizza.
Yeah.
It's just a good pizza. It's like I
Yeah.
don't crave it as
yeah,
much as I do like Ray's. And that's what I mean.
yeah.
But that was also because I used to work by Ray's. I used to
don't
work
like-
in Midtown.
I don't like my local place as much as I like Tony's when we
Yeah.
lived there.
Tony's was special though.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it. Maybe if we had eaten at a different time in our lives, we'd feel differently. But I think a lot of it was just how
Right.
that was just like
Kind of like how you love your
cornerstone.
parents.
But if,
Kinda-
you had met your parents,
But if you would meet
like,
your parents as an adult, like would you like them? Probably not.
we wouldn't hang out now. I would. I gotta be real. I would.
I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't hang out with my dad if I met him as an adult.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't hang out with my parents if we. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say. That's probably a good note to end on, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty positive one right there. Perfect.
My mom watches these.
I know. That's why she's gonna text me. She's gonna message me later. She's like, "Well, I didn't know that I needed to learn that tonight, but thank you so much."
Mom watches these and she texts me. She's like, "You look tired."
Oh my gosh. Any other info I need to include in the blog post on Wildlands Reforged? I don't know, man. We'll have an FAQ up, and so I guess as a closing message,
Hey,
that's the goal.
what's up?
Is to
Including the blog post of Wildlands Reforged.
I mean, we'll have more info, kind of starting tomorrow or Friday.
We're trying to put up a bunch of info tomorrow.
Oh, that's the other thing that we should have said about the GameFound page is that there is a cool thing that we can do as part of GameFound's preview option is that we can show things earlier, and we can start showing you sets and some rewards and like for further projects. We can basically start showing you how the things work and different panels and all these other little like live text options even before the project launches, which is a huge important part of why you want to come in on the preview, not only to get the follower gift of the $5 discount to your pledge, but it also allows you to see the information earlier, whatever we can actually release once it's ready. So yeah, that's the only other thing I realized we should have said.
Okay. Or we were like, yeah, we'll make it a shorter one tonight, just because we were tired.
Yeah, but
we had stuff to do.
we were just having a good time.
Yeah. No, I had a good time. Did you have a good time? All right, let's woo! Start late, end late. Yeah, that's fair. We started like 10 minutes late, so I guess this is actually about right. All right, everybody. I don't know what you're doing. All right, have a good night, everybody. We'll be in touch.
I'm just trying not to talk so we can actually leave.
You're just making me uncomfortable at this point. All right.
Perfect.
Thanks for stopping by. We should be here next week. We should actually have a lot. Well, the page should be like we should have lots of.
We'll have an additional part of our
I don't
preview by the end of the week.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna like walk through the page next week or what. We'll.
I mentioned it to Nate, but
we
he was like, we'll see if they.
We should be here next week, and then the week after that we're at Gen Con, and then we launch this thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.